These are the VRS Direct Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Control, feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taking over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane. roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain. Cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane. Speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain. Only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send. And in the end, be the best. It's taking over, cannot contain. The desire to get to victory lane.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the IRWC presents the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series for Season 2. Here this evening, I'm your commentator, Hamish Munro. We are back once again, bigger, better, badder than ever, as we come in to the start of tonight's season for the first round at our starting point of every season, the Hockenheimring. And I'm looking forward to this 60-minute affair here tonight. Feature race on offer for you out at the Hockenheimring. It's going to be a massive season. Absolutely incredible. I mean, this season is going to be even better than the last. Last season, spectacular. We crowned Simon Mazzomo the champion back at Belle Isle. We now come back to the Hockenheimring where it all started, and we get ready to do it all over again. This is going to be absolutely mega. Absolutely mega. The biggest season that we've had is about to get underway. Drivers are about to get into qualifying, but we've got to get through a couple of things first and foremost, including what we've got coming up this season. For our calendar for this season, we announced it last season, of course, but now it's finally come to fruition here today. We start tonight at the Hockenheimring for our first feature race of the season. 60 minutes to come your way here at the Hockenheimring. Next week, we head out to the Red Bull Ring for our first rush round of the season. 2 15-minute sprints, the second of which has a full inverted grid, and then the third race, the feature, 30 minutes with a top 10 invert as well. Silverstone Historic Circuit for round 2 for a sprint round, a 20 and a 40-minute. And then Winton, our second rush round of the season for round 4. Is going to be an absolute cracker. Round 5, we go to the newly released Tailem Benz circuit, Shell V-Power Motorsport Park, for our second feature race of the season for the international layout, the same that the supercars use in real life. Round 6, we go to our final rush round of the season at Bathurst. That's going to be pure chaos. Round 7 for Okayama for the next sprint round, 20 to 40 once again. Into Lagos for the final feature of the season at round 8 for 60 minutes there. Long Beach for the final droppable round of the season in the 20 and 40 minute. And then round 10 out at Belle Isle, we end there once again for our new finale race format. 2 30-minute feature races out at Belle Isle. It's going to be a massive season ahead, a massive 10 weeks ahead as well. You guys do not want to miss any of that action. So if you're new here or you've been here for a while, get this out of the way very quickly. If you're watching over on Twitch, be sure to follow. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, to be notified when we're going racing here with the IRWC. It's going to be an incredible season to come your way. Let's have a quick look though at our Google Earth track map, given to me by the gracious SimSpeed TV and Jay Kennedy. Much appreciated to them, as well as the B-roll that we used throughout the season too. So appreciate them handing that over to me and allowing me to use it. Not too far south from Frankfurt here at in Hockenheim, formerly the Hockenheimring, much bigger. Of course, this layout's been used for the last 20 years or so, with a couple of years added on for some change as we trickle our way on in. If you joined us from round 1 last season, you should know this track quite well. It all starts on the main straight, and the run up towards turn 1 at Nord Curve, the first test here. A good little passing opportunity mid-race, could be quite chaotic early on. Up towards Einfahrt Parabolica for turn 2, and the run down through 3 and 4. This section can be quite tough, it can be quite chaotic, as I said as well. A good passing opportunity still, but drivers are going to try and get the car gripped up to maximise their run through 5 at the Parabolica, to try and make the Spitzkehrer at 6 the best passing opportunity that they possibly can. As you then run down towards turn 7 and in towards the Mercedes Stadium section at turn 8, then the run up through 9 and 10. This little section here, drivers are going to have to be properly careful of as well. Just trying to tuck in behind them, setting yourselves up for future moves later in the race. This track's going to be all about patience, as drivers are going to have to try and really knuckled down on that here tonight. The run up then towards 11 at Mobile 1, up towards the Sachs curve for turn 12. Slightly banked turn in. It's seen a lot of big moments over the years in real motorsport. I think the one that sticks in my mind is 2018 German Grand Prix. It's pretty much cost Sebastian Vettel the championship on that day. The run up through 13 and 14 and then in towards 15, and then the Sud curve for turn 16. It's 4.5 Ks, 2.8 miles in the old language. This layout's been used since 2002. It is going to be an absolute cracker, though, for these drivers here this evening. I'm so excited. We are so back for Season 2. This is going to be absolutely electric. Qualifying about to get underway. If you haven't noticed, though, for some drivers, or if you kind of we haven't really been putting it out on our socials, so if you're unaware, this season the field has grown immensely grown. We averaged the end of last season with around about 25 drivers per race. We had set an initial cap this season on the entries to 45. We met that, and then we extended it to 50, and we've met that. We have got 50 drivers signed up for Season 2. This is going to be immense, and they're not just any drivers. We have got some of the best drivers in Australia signed up this season. If you thought at the end of last season when Mez won the title, Lazarus will come back or Harris will come back and they'll win it, same for Pedersen, you may be wrong. You may very well be wrong, because there are some proper challenges this season out on track with us. I mean, this right now is a bit. I cannot even put it into words properly how immense this is going to be in terms of a task for drivers to be able to win this championship, for drivers to be able to stay consistent. Consistency now is going to be more important than ever this season, more so than winning the most races. With this many drivers in the field at this caliber, at this level as well, they're going to have to be so consistent this season. Just to rattle off a couple of names. Returning drivers, of course, from the top end of town last season. Daniel Harris, Corey Lazarus, Ben Pedersen, Ellie Gardner, as well as defending champion Simon Mazzomo, who has got the one on his car coming into this season as well. New drivers, though, that have joined the field, the likes of Lachlan Capel, Connor Nixon, Daniel Yeaman, as well as Lachlan Brownlee, Hayden Veld. Job Stewart joins the field too as well. There's an immense amount of drivers. Angus Lawford, Harry Dodds. So many drivers have joined this season. It is going to be absolutely immense, and we so appreciate the support that everyone has given the series coming into Season 2. I cannot voice that enough. To go from where we were in Season 1 to now get a full grid of some of the best drivers in Australia, this is going to be an absolute cracker. Qualifying is underway. Drivers are getting ready to set their first laps in quali, and I've just realised because I changed that sizing, it has ruined it on the little driver name, so we'll have a quick little edit of that whilst we're here, and we'll quickly change that up as well. But as I said, this is going to be immense. I mean, I am super excited. As I said, it might take me a little while to get my excitement under control. It may take me a little while, I must say, because it's purely unbelievable. Purely unbelievable. The support that we've gotten, and we so appreciate it. So buckle up. It's going to be a long season. It's going to be a cracking season as well. We are so excited for what is to come this season for these drivers. As first lap times coming in, Ben Pedersen sets the pace earlier, 141.05 at the top of the field. Yeaman goes P2, 141.94. Wilcox as well, he's really been improving since joining 9.5 last season. Was surrounded by a little bit of controversy at the end of the season, but he comes in fresh this season. Lazarus, the man who only just lost it last season, sets the pace again. The first 140 of the session, 140.9 by Lazarus. Job Stewart just misses out on it, 141.18 for Evolution Racing Team. So the times are going to come in quick and fast. They're going to be short, sharp. They're going to be close. This qualifying session, it may be the most intense of the whole season, because we're going to get a real sense for what the pace is like throughout the field. And we know with the inclusion of new drivers and the inclusion of new drivers who are at such a high level, we're going to be using this season as our test start, mixed in with a little bit, if we match the numbers next season, possibly with some pre-qualifying. We may then start to introduce classes, or if we get enough entries, splits for Season 3. But for Season 2, we want to just try and keep our our teeth gritty, keep ourselves into it, and really sink our teeth into it. It's going to be a good time. Trust me on that one. Harry Dodds still yet to set a time in qualifying. He's got a couple of green sectors next to his name to set his first time in the session. Ben Woods as well returns to the series too. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got a heap of chats out there already. Elliot Price, we are so back. So great to have you out there with us, Elliot. James Wilson as well. Andrew Neal for president. He's my hero. Hopefully he can give you a shout out at some point today, James. Project 36 and Brendan Griffiths in the chat with us too. Great to have you out there. Giovanni Barbera giving the love to Andrew. Hutto's out there with us giving the love to JWM. Stacey Boyd all the way from the US. P-Cup is just as good as supercars for driving. This is going to be fantastic, Stacey. I'm looking forward to seeing how these drivers do here tonight. Lazarus has gone even better. 1 minute 40.24 across that last lap for him. So he is hungry to try and win this title this season, but Job Stewart's going to want to try and put a challenge to that. 140.48 for Job Stewart on the last lap. Capel's done a 140.85 as well. Hayden Veld goes P4 with a 140.9. So the ERT boys joined the field this season, and they are bringing the pace with them as well. And of course, maybe a little bit contentious that we've kept it, but fixed setups this season, it means everyone's on an even playing field. They've got to get used to the setup that they're given, and they've got to try and find the pace in it too. Ellie Gardner with a fantastic lap, a 141 dead. She's put in the practice in the off-season, it seems. She's supposed to have a new livery on the car as well. Is it showing? It is showing. That's good. She's put the practice in the off-season, and she has found some proper pace, challenging Ben Pedersen and Daniel Harris at the moment for lap times. Lawford with a great time inside of the top 10. So is Connor Nixon and Colby Warren as well from the US. Teammates with Corey Lazarus for the Nürburgring 24-hour only a week ago. Joined the series, and he is looking to light this one up as well, as is Lazarus, who looks to go even quicker on this next lap time here. So we'll see how these times come in. Drivers are already over the radio. I've got them in my ear this season to hear when they call out for incidents or when they call out for safety cars. We're not going to have it over the stream, though, because we know the language can be a bit colourful. Wide run for Lazarus at the final corner. That is the lap done for him. He'll now have to get back and going again and try and reset. Stacey was saying just a touch too much chrome over our new graphics. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one there. Maybe just tone it down, make it a little bit more rough, and that thing would really pop. I would say, Stacey, I agree with you on that one. We'll see how that progresses, though, through the season. But I like it. I'm loving this pink to silver or pink to white fade that she's got going on. That's a really nice... It's nice and basic, but sometimes basic works, and I do really like it as well. And she's got quite a funny little little note on the back of her car. We're not going to read it on stream. But no, it is very, very nice looking as well. For those wondering out in the chat too what the track temps are at the moment, 38 degrees track temps, so not on the cooler side, starting to get towards the warmer side. It's not as warm as what the practice sessions were across the weekend that drivers were hosting, so they're getting a little bit more grip out of it here tonight, but it's still going to be tough. Still going to be tough. Running in the chat, nope, needs to be shinier, honestly. Yeah, just make it a pure mirror for us on track so we can see the grass in the little intricacies of delivery as well. But yeah, great to have everyone in the chat with us too. And be sure to get into it tonight. Get into the chat. We've got 43 drivers on track of the 50 that signed up. So we've got an hour to go racing. We've got so many drivers to get through to watch throughout the night as well. Lazarus once again has set the pace. Is it going to be another season of him winning the most races? Well, he's going to have to be consistent in that as well. A couple of minor things too coming into this season off drivers who raced last season as well. I've just seen one of their cars on track. David Duddle, Ernie Toth formed together last season. They've now solidified as Corkscrew Racing coming into this season as well. Their car was painted by one of our series sponsors, Blackheart Designs too. The old Grello look on the Corkscrew car. This is, these guys, they showed some good pace in practice. Hopefully they can translate in the race. Elliot in the chat, Ellie only made that livery last night and isn't entirely happy with it. She's going to have a special one for her birthday next week, but she will fix the other one after that. Well, we look forward to seeing it, Elliot. We look forward to seeing how it looks for her birthday next week, but then also her regular series livery as well the week after. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. I'm liking the new colours on the car. We love it when drivers update their livery season upon season. Because it gets the field looking and feeling fresh when they can do that. So We've got about 5 minutes left in qualifying. Everybody, barring 4 drivers, have set times here in qualification thus far. Robert Crowe, Aaron Smith, Ernie Toth, Ben Woods yet to set times. Aaron and Robert are not out on track at the moment. Ernie and Ben are. And we know that Ben Woods has got some pace, so he's just got to try and get a complete lap together to get this time on the board for him. Martin Lofthouse up to P20 though. Good lap from him from JWM. Puts him inside the top 21, 41.86 on that last lap time by for him as well. So, I mean, this... I said it before, this season's going to be an absolute cracker, and I am so looking forward to it. And the times and how close the times are is indicative of how tight this championship is going to be. Every lap time of the top 6 is less than half a second. From P7 down to P34, each position is separated by half a second or less as well. It is so tight throughout the fields. It is ridiculous how close this is going to be. What that does mean, though, is we need to be cautious because it could be quite chaotic. And we're understanding that it could be quite chaotic. There's, over 40 drivers out there tonight. Race Control will be saying, our new CRSs, Jack Anderson and Kyle Gretsch, will be saying to the drivers, look, just take some caution. There's 40 plus of you. You've got 60 minutes. Let's just ease ourselves into it. You're not going to win it on lap 1. Let's just try and stay within the fight. Buy the ticket to the last 10 minutes, as they say. So, but yes. And I'm aware, if you guys haven't pointed out already, 50 cars signed up, and we've got rush rounds with full inverted grids. We'll see how they go when they go racing. Our first test will be next week at the Red Bull Ring. Probably the best track that we could have had for a rush circuit for that to be tested, to be fair. So we'll see how they go. You'll notice on the timing tower as well, Simon Mazzomo has got a green number next to his name. This is going to be the way that we identify Simon on track this season, being the defending champion, of course, with the number 1 next to his car. We will have the orange number once again to determine or to show off our championship leader throughout the season as well. That'll be based on what the points are leading into the round. So whoever wins the round tonight will get the orange number, etc., so forth and so on as well. This race, though, is going to be immense. Myself and James spoke about it last season of how difficult this car can be to drive. You've got no ABS, no traction control on board with you, so you're really having to try and tightly control this car. And it can be quite difficult to learn those little nuances, especially when it's in a fixed setup series like this, where the fixed setup may not necessarily suit your driving style too well. You have to change your driving style to suit the setup a little bit more, as Wilcox goes a 140.81 into P3 for 9.5 Sim Sports. So those little nuances, that's going to be tough to learn for maybe some of the back markers this season. And that's going to be a point for them to try and prove themselves to fight their way forward. But again, though, consistency is going to be key. Racing consistently, as in being here week in and week out, but then also getting consistent finishes, staying away from penalty points, staying away from license points as well. There are some drivers who have to be very cautious tonight because they come into this round still with their license points from the end of last season. So this is going to be a tough night for them. Stacey in the chat with us, here to see Gamble, Vandermeer and Dodds and all the other Supercars drivers I know. Best of luck, fellas. I'm looking forward to seeing how those Supercars drivers go, Stacey. Scotty Gamble, good to see him back out there. He heads back into the vets this season and also racing in the Porsche Cup too, so a good test for him. Job Stewart is a real-life Super 2 driver, so there's another Supercars driver for you as well. But yeah, Doddsy, looking forward to seeing how he does, as well as Lawford for Project 36. Craig Schultz as well. All those vets or Supercars guys, they're going to be great to see too. We've also, got some young talent out there as well. Ocean Colangelo from Evolution Racing Team. She is a young racing prospect here in Australia, and she is going to bring the test to the big boys and girls in this series this season. Maybe just a little bit more pace to find, getting more comfortable in the Cup car. She's more used to open wheel racing is Ocean. So we look forward to seeing how she progresses throughout this season and how her pace develops as well. But she's a very talented young driver. Yeah, Connor Nixon out of hiding as well, Stacey. Nixon's in here. I think the more obvious out of hiding, though, is his teammate, Daniel Yeaman, has come out of hiding to come racing with us as well for Orbit Drop Bear Motorsport. So we'll see how Yeatman does, but also how Mr. Nixon does as well this season. Qualifying those coming to an end. This is their final lap here for qualification. Remembering, because it's a normal round, they can finish their laps as long as they started it before the 15 minutes was up. So there are a couple of drivers on track. Job Stewart, Hayden Veld, Colby Warren, Ben Pedersen, Ben Woods, Connor Nixon, Simon Mazzomo, Daniel Yeaman. Ocean Colangelo finishes her final lap, goes to P20 in a good time for Evolution Racing Team. David Duddle's out there who can set a lap. So can Wiley Blair and Lockhart Brownlee as well. But Job Stewart looks to be the... Actually, no, I think it's Wiley who's the next car to cross the line. There we go. Do they go better? They go P25 in a good effort from them. Daniel Yeaman goes better into P16 as well. Ben Pedersen, the next now to come up towards the line. I apologise, Ben. Your livery reset when I updated my trading paints. We'll have that fixed up for next week, I promise. As he comes round across the line for Ben Pedersen, he's got Connor Lockhart Brownlee, hot on his heels. Ben crosses the line. Where does he go? I think he stays P8. Brownlee goes P6, though, in a great time, 140.92. Next car to cross the line, Connor Nixon of Orbit Drop Bear Motorsport. What is this going to look like for him? It's P11 for him this time by. Stewart has pulled out of his lap. David Duddle is the next car to cross the line here and finish off his qualifying session here tonight as well. Hayden Veld, I believe, already finished his lap. Duddle crosses the line. Hasn't gone any better on that lap. And the last one to finish it out will be Mr. Veld, but I feel he may be pulling into pit lane. He is indeed. So that is qualifying done and dusted here for round one of the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series, live on Infinity Broadcasting. We ran a poll last season, or the end of last season, to determine what our next premium series is going to be in Season 3 of our IRWC. It'll be the first season for this series. This will be coming the way in Season 4 of iRacing. We've got GTEs coming your way in Season 4. That is going to be an immense time on track for these drivers out there. We've also got Rod Knox coming up this season as well on Fridays. That starts next week, a week from this coming Friday. Sign-ups are still open. You can sign up in the Discord for our ARCA series. Open up to anyone, so you can come racing with us in a bit of Friday fun. It's only a $10 entry fee for that series though, but grid time is ready to go and the starting grid is up here tonight. I do apologise about the car numbers. I will fix that after the show. Corey Lazarus will start pole position here tonight with Job Stewart in P2. Hayden Veld, Jaden Wilcox will then start on the second row of the grid with Lachlan Capel and Lockhart Brownlee for the third. Colby Warren and Ben Pedersen then start for your top 8 with Ellie Gardner and Ben Woods inside of the top 10. Connor Nixon and Luke Swan will then make up the top 12, with Daniel Harris and Angus Lawford the top 14. Jared McLeod, Simon Mazzomo, the defending champion, qualifies in P16 with Daniel Yeaman and John Akers in behind them. Steve Tonkin and Scott Gamble will then make up the top 20 with Ocean Colangelo and Shannon Fever for your top 22, with David Duddle and David Clark the top 24. Sean Linzell will line up alongside Wiley Blair with Paul Wilson, Martin Lofthouse, Alex Schuler and Harry Dodds for the top 30, with Craig Schultz, Marcus Cook, Dean Reddit, Alan Dawson, Sean Vandermeulen and Andrew Neal for the top 36. Tim Nicol, Ernie Toth, Halil Cesar, Gary Watson the top 40 with Johnny Rowe, Robert Crow and Aaron Smith at the back end of the field. Our race controllers here for this season, our CRS, Jack Anderson and Kyle Gretsch, our safety car driver Lucas Burt and Jordan Ferguson, little scribe master himself, as the offsider in there with them. It's a big grid, it's a long grid, and these drivers are about to get themselves prepared for what is to come here tonight. They've all lined up on the straight, ready to prepare themselves down there. Job Stewart, what can he do this season? What can Lazarus do as well? Veld and Wilcox, they'll be bringing the pressure to them too. It's maximum pressure moments this season, folks. It was maximum pressure moments at the end of last season. It's maximum pressure for the start of Season 2 as well. So we're just waiting on Ben Woods, Daniel Harris, Tim Nicol, Halil Cesar all to join the grid here this evening. They are all backing around the rear, the last corner. Aaron Smith is all the way back there at the pit entry. So that's how far back the grid goes here tonight. 43 cars on track for round 1 of the 50 that signed up. And as of next week, we will be including waitlist members on circuit if drivers cannot make the race that evening. Only a couple of seconds away, though, from the lights going up for these drivers and for Corey Lazarus and Job Stewart to get us started for Season 2. We've been away for a couple of weeks. The excitement and the intensity has not gone away. It has not wavered during the break. Lights up, revs rise for Season 2 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. And it is lights out, and we are underway, and the scramble towards turn 1 begins for Season 2. Stewart already putting the pressure on Lazarus. In towards turn 1, hops the curb, and the scramble in the background continues through as well. But the battle at the front of the field looks to be as hot as ever as Stewart and Veld trying to team up on Laz here. Stewart through to the lead. Lazarus trying to come through as well. Wilcox poking the nose in at that point too. The drop bear cars trying to fight their way forward. Pedersen's trying to do the same. But all in all, we've had a relatively clean start. At this point of the season, in Season 1, we had 2 cars in the wall who would end up being 2 championship contenders in Daniel Harris and Ben Pedersen. They've made it further than they did in Season 1 this time by. But Stewart leads us in towards the hairpin. Warren trying to make moves early here. Drivers in the background scrambling as well. It looks nice and tidy, but I speak too soon. Cars are around at the hairpin. Sean Vandermeulen is one of them. Around down there at the hairpin, I believe Gary Watson as well has also been involved. Mazzomo's trying to make moves early here. Drivers are calling things in, including Ernie Toth. As Ben Pedersen's off the track, up at turn 10 as well. So a couple of big moments. I'm trying to catch where he is. There he is on track. Some big moments early on here. Drivers getting crossed up with each other, it seems. You expected it to possibly happen, but the battles are looking to get feisty here as Harris has been spun. Daniel Harris has been spun before turn 14. He's been spun round. He's called it into race control as well. Wiley Blair's had a moment in the background too with Aaron Smith, so it is chaos here at the start of this race. And at the start of this season too. But for Job Stewart, Corey Lazarus, Hayden Veld, Jaden Wilcox and Colby Warren, they've had a good breakaway from the Orbit drop bear cars of Brownlee, Nixon and Woods as well. But we've got to look back at some of these incidents that happened across the first lap, including the pile-up that was down at the hairpin, as I believe Jared McLeod is dropping a couple of spots too in the lifeline entry here. Let's have a look back. It all started with Vandermeulen, and I believe Paul Wilson was involved as well. So what's happened is Vandermeulen up the inside, locks it up, big old lock up, clobbers into the side of the cars that were mid-corner, and evasive action needing to be taken from a lot of drivers. That maybe looked poorly upon for Vandermeulen. Race control may determine he gets a drive-through for that one, but we'll leave it up to them in their determinations. Johnny Rowe, I think, was one of the drivers caught up in that too, having to take evasive action there. As I believe he did. Yes, he did. He had to slow it up and take evasive action. Ben Pedersen then had this moment here. Got loose. And then was there contact. So he turned in one of the Orbit drop bear cars on the inside. Oh, he was tag teamed between ERT and drop bear and sent off the road. And then there was Daniel Harris, who was sent off track as well. And there's been more incidents that have happened throughout this replay period. That was when Harris was sent off. And this was David Duddle down at the end of the Parabolica. So what has happened down here for Mr. Duddle? So he's come down to the corner. Oh, he's just rear-ended Ocean Colangelo, and then it's caused a big old just ricocheting effect, a bit of a domino effect for them. Massive, massive moments early in this race. Multiple cars have been involved. But we're on lap 3, 3 minutes 47 into it. Job Stewart leads the way. Lazarus, Veld, Wilcox, Warren, your top 5. Brownlee, Nixon, Woods, Capel, Mazomo has fought his way up into the top 10 here. And a fantastic effort to Scott Campbell. And I believe possibly it was David Clark have been involved in an incident together down at turn 2. So what's happened down here? So Pedersen on the outside of Clark. Clark then looks to tuck it up the inside of Gamble. Oh, gets it off the curb and contact's made and round he goes. That's a tough one. We'll leave that one up to race control for the determining factor. They'll be working hard tonight. That is for sure. To try and get these incidents fixed up. And if there's any penalties out there, get them applied as well. I mean, we've got 60 minutes of racing, folks, so plenty of time for those incidents to get looked at and for penalties to be applied as well. Lazarus, though, and Stewart battling their way forward. Lazarus, I listened to it earlier today, had a good podcast conversation this morning on, I've got to find out what it was now, on the sim racing, the SRIF podcast with Dean Reddit and Packers, I believe his co-host was, but he had a good talk with them had a good talk with them about all the driving he does in the Porsche Cup and all the series he's involved in. Gave us a good shout out here for the IRWC as well, so we appreciate that from him. But actually talking about the Invitational Series that'll be coming up as well, so that'll be good to see how well Laz does in that series and if any of our other drivers are involved as well, as Gamble's gone round down at turn 1. So maybe caught the curb. Sim Racing in Focus. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Sim Racing in Focus. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. As Vandermeulen has also been involved in another incident too. So the incidents are, they're getting tough to bear for some drivers out there. This is a real test, this car. But yeah, it was a great listen. I highly recommend you guys go and check it out as Gamble's gone round again. So involved in the wars is the 543 of Evolution Racing Team for Scott Gamble. And I wonder did Vandermeulen make secondary contact with him? No, I think he's just gone round at the final corner possibly. Hopped it off the curb and round she went. So that was a shame there for Sean and for Mr. Gamble as well. But for Scotty's teammate Job Stewart, he is pushing on at the front of the field at the moment. Lazarus in behind him as well. And then Veld and Wilcox and Warren inside of the top 5. Mazomo and Gardner trying to chase down Ben Woods, who comes into pit lane. He did get a drive-through penalty from race control for the contact with Daniel Harris. So Ben Woods, I believe, has been given this penalty. So you have to drop to the back of the field, or predominantly the back of the field here, as Jaden Wilcox at the front of the field has had a minor spin down at turn 2. That's going to let Lockhart Brownlee through. Warren and Veld battling down towards turn 6 for Sudkurv. Man, oh man, what a race it has been. And we're not even 10 minutes in yet. Not even 10 minutes in. Sometimes, though, it takes a little bit of time to get yourself locked in and get the car comfortable under you as well. But Veld and Warren look to battle on here for P3. Lazarus and Stewart driving and battling up the road as well. Race control have also determined the moment for Ben Pedersen was a NFA for netcode being involved. As Harry Dodds has had a minor off track for Project 36, trying to get this car back up and running again. He has done now, tucked it right in front of Alan Dawson. As Harris and Fever battle on. Harris just getting it up the inside into P18 now for him at this stage. Woods trying to battle on with David Duddle up the inside he goes. Warren's livery is real nice. Let's find it. Oh yeah, it is. That's a real nice livery. He's a US based driver as well, Stacey. He was recommended to come join us here with from Corey Lazarus as they participated in the N24 together. But yeah, Colby's car, that is hot. No, Project 36 are still waiting on themselves getting a livery at this stage. So both him and Mr. Lawford are waiting on getting their cars painted by their livery designer at this point. So we'll see what they look like though. Hopefully it looks like they're supercars, because those things look absolutely sexy. So Warren and Val separated by about 0.4 of a second. Gardner makes a move on the defending champion Mazzomo. So a good move there from Gardner on Simon Mazzomo, the defending champion in P10 at the moment on the road, but we know how consistent he can be. He won the championship through consistency in Season 1. But now he's got some pressure from his fellow SimSpeed TV commentator, Daniel Yeaman. So these guys have looked to have a nice, hard battle between them. We're just missing Reece Gardner and Scott Rankin in this battle. And we'd have SimSpeed TV on there as well. So I hope so. It'll look sweet because it looks so good on the supercar, Brendan. So yeah, hopefully it does. It's going to look absolutely sick on the Porsche Cup as well. Don't forget to put the banner on it as well. We have got it in the Discord, so get that on there. We've currently got one driver out of this race at the moment. That is Sean Vandermeulen. Unfortunately, Scott Gamble is still going at the back end of the field trying to push on at this stage. Dean Reddit and I believe it was Daniel Clark had minor off tracks, but they're still battling away as well. Ben Pedersen, Ocean Colangelo here battling for P15 on the road. Colangelo having a good run thus far, up 6 positions in this race. But the most positions gained, well, that's gone to Tim Nicol and Alan Dawson. They're both up 11 at this stage. So they're in the double digits. Marcus Cook is up 7 for Frog Leap Juice Racing at the moment as well. And so Capel and Nixon trying to battle their way through inside of the top 10. So, I mean, the caliber of talent in this field, it's seriously gone up another notch. And you know, drivers with this much pace, obviously, they're so close on their times that you're often going to get them overlap with each other, and incidents can happen as well. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of trying to drive on the absolute limit. And that's what the majority of these drivers are trying to do. And again, that's why consistency is going to benefit all. Lazarus learnt that last season. He won the most races, but he wasn't the most consistent. Mez was the most consistent, and he ended up winning the title by a couple of points over Lazarus. So that's just how it can play out for them. In that sense, as David Duddle has been off the road down at turn 12. So trying to get the Corkscrew racing car back on track. There's a bit of damage on the back of that car, so I don't know if he was helped off circuit or if he's done that all on his lonesome. It looks to be all on his lonesome. He had Harry Dodds chasing him down. Oh, what's happened there? That looks like he's had a steering failure. That looks like Mr. Duddle has ended up having a technical issue. He's trying to crawl the 039 car back to pit lane. So we'll see what happens with that for him. It's a real shame. He was having a strong run and just caught out there, it seems, with a minor incident as well. So the top two, Job Stewart and Corey Lazarus, continue their battle at the front of the field in the 30 ERT car and the 404 privateer entry for Laz. Warren, the American, up on the podium as well, with Veld and Brownlee trying to chase him down. Wilcox is up there too. Capel and Nixon and Gardner continue their battle as Yeaman and Mez battle along with with Luke Swan, in behind them. So a multitude of teams across the field. There were some worries from the drivers that this field for this season, because we had the confirmation that 9.5 were going to be bolstering their numbers, that it would just be 9.5 Sim Sports drivers pretty much in the field. But we've really bolstered the amount of teams that have come in and the size of the teams too. ERT, Evolution Racing Team coming in this season. Big numbers from them. Same from Orbit Drop Bear Motorsport as well. A couple of Project 36 drivers have joined us too. Obviously, the 95 Sim Sports guys as well. Riot Sim Sports have joined the field as well. So there is a multitude of teams that have joined and bolstered the numbers of this series, and it is fantastic to see. It's, this season's going to be a long season. I suspect there's going to be some fantastic battles, some heated battles for sure, throughout the season as well. So, drivers, they're just going to have to show a bit of patience. We've gotten past, the first 10-minute period, the little sort of massaging period where drivers are just trying to find their footing, figure out where they're meant to be. There's often going to be some overlap in that when so many cars are on track together. It's just one of those scenarios in racing. So they're going to get better at it across the season, I'm sure. And, we haven't had a safety car yet. Now, if you recall back to last season when we were at the Hockenheimring, we didn't get a safety car here until the final 10 minutes when Wayne Shepherd ran out of fuel and needed a tow back to pits. So it was a fair while in that race that we went without a safety car being called. Steve Tonkin has just had a minor moment there in the JWM machine. Tries to get it going again. But there's been some really, really good tight net battles tonight. And this one will look to heat up as well. Jared McLeod, Ben Woods. They've got Daniel Harris up the road from him. So McLeod's got his teammate with him in Harris. And Woods is trying to bring the fight with him. Now, of course, Woods and Harris made contact early on in the race on lap 1. That sent Harris off the road. So Woods may be a little bit hesitant to drive too close to these cars and put too much pressure on them, but they're having some good wheel-to-wheel action, including this battle here. Craig Schultz, Tim Nicol, Martin Lofthouse. These guys fighting their way through as well. So it's been fantastic thus far. First 10 laps, first 15 minutes. We've had some interesting moments happening on track, some interesting incidents as well, but this is a car that you've got to put some time into. Oh my god, I thought Lofthouse was about to collect both of them, was nearly collected by his teammate David Clark. Dean Reddit has just fought his way through as well. He wants the inside line now on Clark to get a JWM 2-for-1 special here in the Riot Sim Sports car. Cannot quite do it. And now just has to keep pushing on. So it is pressure upon pressure up and down the field as Woods locks it up on the inside of McLeod. McLeod's going to try and go for a switchback here. Watch out for Fever in behind. He's gotten past Ben Woods now as well. Woods has actually been spun round there off of that. So McLeod's called something into the race control. And Ben Woods is trying to get this car back on circuit. I wonder if there was contact. Oh, there was contact with Jared McLeod, and that's what sent Woods around. That is a real shame. Matt Namara in the chat, that's good to see big numbers. Sean is absolutely fantastic. Oh, no, that's not good there for Ben Woods. He has gone into the wall there, unfortunately. Looked like broken steering to me. So Pedersen continues on here. So as we continue on, Pedersen got a bit of a good gap now over McLeod, who's got Fever in behind him at this stage. So their battle looks to continue on as well. Linzell battling with Marcus Cook of Frog Leap Juice Racing. That's another team that's got some good numbers in here too, Frog Leap Juice Racing. So good to see them in on the circuit with us tonight as well. As McLeod and Fever battle away. That's a big lock-up from Fever. Ends up off the road, and McLeod just goes back through again, says thank you very much, and sneaks back on by. So they continue on. Ben Woods has been given a post-race penalty for the contact with Jared McLeod, it seemed. So that there continues on. The battle at the front, though, with Stewart and Lazarus. I mean, these guys have been sitting pretty for the last few laps now this race, and they're just hanging out together. Best of friends, holding hands. And Lazarus just tucked in right behind Stewart. I would not be surprised if Laz at the moment was saving maximum fuel in that Porsche right behind Job. I mean, he is a strategist to the end, and he will try and save fuel just to save stop time, make up any time he can during the race. So this for him is now maximum moment. He just shows the nose a little bit, maybe doesn't want to get caught up in the toe in the braking zone, because you can often be overextended down there under brakes when that happens. And now he continues to push on the heels here of Job Stewart. Colby Warren at the moment still leads this battle pack of Hayden Veld, Lockhart Brownlee and Jaden Wilcox, with Lachlan Capel, Ellie Gardner, Connor Nixon and Simon Mazzomo chasing them down, with Yeaman and Swan as well. So this is the battle at the back end of the top 10. Mez currently sits P10 in the race. Yeaman and Swan just outside of it at the moment. Now, if you're new here as well and you're unaware, so we run limited fuel in this series, so drivers will have to do a pit stop in this race. If they're not fuel saving, they'll very likely have to do 2 stops as well. So that's going to be a test for them to see how that pans out. We saw some wild strategy plays last season to try and limit that, as Mazzomo goes a bit wide there down at turn 12. That's allowed Yeaman through. So watch for the pit stops. They should be coming probably within the next 5 minutes or so. I would argue would be pit stop territory. And just to confirm as well, Ben Woods has been disqualified from this race for that moment there after the incident. So that's a real shame for him. Job Stewart leads the way though. Lazarus, Warren and Veld with Brownlee inside of the top 5 at this stage. We're going to go back though to this battle, because this has been heating up over the last few laps. The 2 JWM entries of David Clark, Martin Lofthouse, Craig Schultz, Dean Reddit and Tim Nicol, who was one of the most consistent drivers in the field last season, was Tim. He didn't really fire up the front too often, but he consistently got top 10s, got points and battled his way through. So this battle could really start to heat up now over the next couple of laps. And so could this one though, as Yeaman gets the job done on Mez. So Mez could be struggling here a little bit. Let's ride on board with him for a second, see if he's maybe just fuel saving or if he's just struggling out there for tyre grip. It doesn't seem he's struggling with anything in the car by the sounds of it. That was more or less that he's just trying to take it easy, trying to run his race, and that's what worked out for him last season, as Ellie Gardner is the first driver into pit lane. First of the pit stoppers are in, and it is Ellie Gardner into the pits. So she brings herself in. John Akers has followed as well. So Akers of Riot is into pit lane. Shannon Fever in too. So we are into pit stop territory now. It'll be a 2-stopper for these drivers here tonight for sure. If the likes of Job Stewart and Corey Lazarus can get to 30 minutes, can they make it the whole way? I'm not sure. That might be a tough task. Lofthouse and Schuler are in pit lane as well. Gardner exits. Oh, come on, sort yourself out. There we go. Gardner exits pit lane. I do apologise about that. Just in behind Steve Tonkin of JWM Motorsports. Just ahead of Harry Dodds this stage as well. So she'll make up some more spots once again. But it's been a very consistent race tonight from Ellie. It's been good to see. She's worked on her pace. You know, she had some good pace last season, but struggled for a couple of rounds with consistency. So hopefully she's gotten that up this season and could solidify herself another top 10 in the championship by doing so. She finished last season P3 in the title race, so it was an extraordinary season for her to even get close to matching that this season with the now, higher caliber of drivers as Stewart and Lazarus are in. with the higher caliber of drivers who are out there, a top 3 in the championship would be immense if she can pull that off. JWM changed up the colours here. They are a little bit. They've got the red base in the Porsches as majority of the field is coming in. Top 11 cars in pit lane. Lawford's going to come in too. So is Colangelo. So is Harris. So is Pedersen. So everyone into pit lane at this stage. I don't believe anyone out there is needing a tow. No. Everyone is running around. Stewart and Lazarus exit pit lane ahead of each other. McLeod stays out for an extra lap. And so does Halil Cesar. Oh no, Halil's already come in. Sorry, he's actually a lap down on these guys. So McLeod up into P3. Corrected order though will drop some spots as majority of the field, as we said, are in pit lane for their first stop of the evening here. Meaning it will be a 2-stop affair. And for Stewart and Lazarus, they're just trying to buy a ticket to the end of the race. That is their main goal at this point, because you can't win it halfway through. You've got to be there in the final 10 minutes to try and take a win if you can. You know, just to try and fight their way forward if they can. So we'll see how this battle commences. After the pit stops, Gardner has come out amongst Nixon and Swan. Swan's actually jumped Mazzomo in the stop. Where is Yeaman? They've all jumped Yeaman. Oh no, Yeaman had a speeding in pit lane penalty. It was either a speeding in pit lane penalty or an unsafe entry because he's had a stop hold. So Yeaman is down in P31 as Shannon Fever has gone round. Down at the hairpin, fresh tyres, cold tyres, possibly for Shannon Fever, and he now has to wait for the whole field to come past him down there. It's a sight for sore eyes for Shannon Fever. He'll try and get it going again and push on further. He was having a good run up until that point. Sean Linzell's having a good race as well as McLeod finally comes into pit lane. Linzell continuing to battle here with Marcus Cook and Wiley Blair. They've got the lap traffic up ahead of them of Aaron Smith, who is just continuing on at this point. And they're just trying to find a way around him at this stage. So we'll see how they go doing that. Linzell makes it look easy. Smith just lets him have it at that point as well. Robert Crow's had an incident in the background, but he's now kept it going again in the Infinity Broadcasting entry. So we'll see how Robert can go this season in the Porsches, mainly a supercars driver, so see if he can find a way round as Fever's gone off the road down at turn 12. So it's more pain for Fever. Can you feel the fever? He certainly can. It's an unfortunate moment for him. He now has to try and push on and just pull something out of this race if he can, as Aaron Smith has gone round at turn 1. Now I don't know if this is due to the traffic or what. Let's have a look. Oh, he's gone round. Okay, there wasn't contact that happened, but he is struggling out there at this stage. Gardner amongst this battle too. This battle's really been the hottest of the whole race thus far. Top 10. They've all been separated by barely a whisper as Swan gives Mez a nice tow. So there's the teammates helping each other along there. And a great team play for 9.5 Sim Sports. They now look to chase down Connor Nixon and put some pressure on him in the Orbit Drop Bear entry. They've then got Lachlan Capel to deal with as well, as Dean Reddit has gone round, I believe, down at turn 8. So it's the Right Sim Sports car, Right Sim Racing car, just trying to get it back up and running again. That's a real shame for him, as Smith has had another off track somewhere on the circuit. So Stewart and Lazarus still at the front of the field. Mez and Gardner continue their battle. Of course, both of them practiced together throughout the weeks of season 1. And now they battle on track for position. Gardner has... I'm seriously impressed by how much pace Gardner has found across that first season. And then in the break in between as well, coming into season 2, she has really worked hard, it seems, on finding some pace in this car. And if her consistency's gotten up as well, she could be a smoky for it if she can stay consistent, because she has proven that she has got some wicked pace, it seems, this season. I mean, she's bringing it to last season's champion, and they had great battles all throughout the season, but she is hanging on to him like a bad smell. So drivers continuing on forward. Car 85 has been found at fault for an incident with Shannon Fever. So that's how Fever went round, it seems. So Yeaman may be copping something, a drive-through penalty perhaps, which is a real shame, because it means now that Yeatman's probably going to have to come through the pit lane in a horrid scenario for him, it must be said. So a night to forget for Mr. Daniel Yeaman, it seems, as Ben Pedersen continues on. So we'll head back up to the battle between Mez and Gardner. We're going to head in now to our scheduled virtual racing school ad break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon after these messages from VRS.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Well, welcome back after that VRS ab break. A bit of a contentious moment there with some lap traffic for Hayden Veld trying to manoeuvre around, as well as Lockhart Brownlee. So race control looking into it. We'll see what happens off the back of that one as well. Lachlan Caples just called something in. I'm not sure what for, but we will see as David Clark has been spun round at the hairpin as well. So Alex Schuler's gone past him. I wonder, was there contact made or is it self-inflicted for the JWM driver? Let's have a look here. Oh, just self-inflicted, unfortunately, there for David. A real shame. Shannon Fever also had another moment too. Up at turn 16, it seems, in behind Ernie Toth, just ahead of Daniel Yeaman. Yeaman, having to take evasive action off the circuit around him. And then continues on. So it is heating up for these drivers here tonight, it seems. They're feeling the pressure, and look at this battle that's about to happen here. 3 of the 4 contenders from Season 1, Ellie Gardner, Daniel Harris, and Simon Mazzomo, all battling for P9 on the road. Harris has had to be on the comeback train here tonight after getting spun round on lap 1 down at turn 14. And right now he's about to put some pressure on Ellie Gardner. But these drivers well and truly know each other. Raced each other last season, all up and down the field. And they're looking to do it once again. As they run up towards the Mercedes Stadium section, we know how much pace Harris has got. And he's really going to start to put the pressure here on Ellie. How long will it take Harris to try and make this move? Because he'll make it work if he can. But we know he's got good respect for Ellie Gardner. He's got respect for Mazzomo as well. All three of them have battled for a championship. He's going to send it up the inside at turn 12. Gardner leaves the room. Harris goes through and takes the position of P9 and now looks to chase down Luke Swan up the road from him in the 9.5 Sim Sports car. 25 minutes left in this race. So next, probably at the end of this lap, drivers could get home on fuel if they were to pit. At that point, it would be the earliest time they could pit, but it would be real tight on those fuel numbers for them. See Nixon and Capel battling away too. So 2 of the new teams, 3 new drivers as well. So they continue on. We've got post-race investigations happening for the moment with Hayden Veld and Halil Cesar, it seems. So we'll be sure, though, to see what happens with race control. I'll go have a chat with them post-race, find out what's happened, so we know exactly what the determination is. We've just seen as well, unfortunately, David Duddle has towed without permission, and he's now just been disqualified as well by race control. So it's an unfortunate circumstance there for David. He'll have to try and get up and running once again. Mr. John, Mr. Lethal John, is looking to Mr. Leith is looking to take up the offer. If we haven't found anyone to, I'm going to assume for RC. Leith, you're more than welcome to hop in next week, as Harry Dodds has just gone round down at the hairpin. So yeah, Leith, hop into race control next week, and we'll get you in there with the boys and yeah, sorting it out with them. So we'll be looking forward to that one. As Will Cox is the first to jump into pit lane. So Will Cox in the earliest point he could get home as they continue on. Got a post-race points penalty coming the way of one of the drivers out there too. Lachlan Capel, Connor Nixon. Both these drivers with some wicked pace. Very similar skill set as well. You can see the kind of pressure that Nixon is putting on him. Maybe trying to force a mistake here is Nixon on Capel. Swan maybe trying to put a mistake on them too at some point, but he's got to worry about Harris, who's starting to chase him down. So these battles are not over just yet. I've also noticed that Job Stewart has started to build out a 1.5 second gap over Corey Lazarus. I meant to point out as well the stat that if Lazarus won tonight, he would start the season still undefeated at the Hockenheimring. He won both races in season 1, and we would have seen if he could have still been undefeated at this circuit once again. So Capel and Nixon, and I mean, like, a lot of these new drivers that have come in, all former, or majority of them are former Aussie Online Gaming drivers of AOG Porsches that of course used to run on Tuesdays for quite a few years, for quite a few seasons. Of course that was headed up by Daniel Yeaman and Tom Wilkinson. So the fact that all these guys are now hopped on board, come racing with us here, is a good showing that we want to try and put on a good Porsche Cup Series for them. They have the faith that it's going to be run correctly and that we're going to be able to go racing as well every single week. So it's absolutely fantastic. Elliot in the chat saying always interesting to see the incident reports in the Discord after the race finishes. It is. I mean, it's it's interesting to see how the incident report kind of gets put together. And, you know, sometimes, obviously, last season we weren't calling out the incidents as they were happening from race control all of the time. But just how that affects the series and how penalty points and incident points will affect the series as well. I mean, Mazzomo last season got no penalties. None. That's pretty much what won him the title, is the fact that he got no penalties and he was super consistent. Lazarus, his championship was probably cost by his penalties. Same with Harris. So, you know, it's meant to sort of hope to get drivers out there and racing clean and trying not to get penalties, but we're aware that drivers get into incidents, hence why we have a rule book and hence why we hand out penalties as well. As Paul Wilson has just had a moment. Where is Paul on the track? Oh, I can't find him. There he is, right there. He's still going. He's not actually having an incident. Lachlan Capel apparently is coming into pit lane. So Nixon's going to head past. And Capel's going to come in for his final stop in the race in the Evolution Racing Team entry. So where could this get him? A nice little undercut possibly. Could get him some nice gap if Nixon and Swan begin to battle, as well as Harris. We know that Harris has got some proper pace. He's trying to push on through as Hayden Veld has just gone round down at turn 2-3. Maybe a sympathy spin for Aaron Smith, who's off the circuit. What has happened to the ERT? Oh, there was contact with the lap traffic of Aaron Smith. More lap traffic has gotten in the way of Hayden Veld tonight. And now he has to try and push on. It's a real shame. He's still inside the top 10. As Colangelo and Lawford battle away, Akers and Gardner. Gardner's dropped down the order a bit. I don't know if she actually had an off track or not. Oh, as Gardner's just locked it up at the hairpin, and Akers has gone through on Lawford at the same time. 2-for-1 special. And I think Lawford was possibly involved in an incident. Apparently, he was rear-ended and copped a black flag for it, so I'm unsure on that one. So, to be in race control tonight, that would be a hell of a spot to be. As Harris comes in, Nixon continues on. So Daniel maybe now trying to undercut Connor Nixon and Luke Swan here. Could be a good strategy. Gets him out of their battle and helps him push on. So Harris in. We are well and truly into pit stop territory for this race. The final stop of the race. Under 20 minutes to go. Veld is also in, unsurprisingly. Although I have a feeling he may have a drive-through penalty for incident limits, as he's just come back out again. Oh, she clipped him. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Let's have another look at this then. So Gardner came down. Although that was Lawford that was over the radio. It wasn't Akers. So let's watch this. No, she didn't clip him. Oh, no, she did. It was very, very minor. A very minor clip from Ellie Gardner gave him the iRacing black flag. So let's watch this again. So there's a big lock up into the hairpin. Couldn't pull it up. Oh, it was only ever so tight. Only ever so tight. And the minor little clip gave Angus Lawford a black flag for a drive-through penalty, thanks to iRacing incident limit. So, I mean, it's tough. That's one of the first challenges, is keeping your incidents under their limit of 17. And, you know, it's disheartening when you've gone over thanks to other drivers in the field, but that's racing sometimes, and that is the game you play as well. Let's have a look back further in the field. Dodsy's in a good little battle here with Daniel Yeaman, and Tim Nicol and Paul Wilson in a battle too, just outside of the top 25, as well as Ernie Toth and Lachlan Capel. Of course, Capel's taken his second stop of the race, so he'll well and truly make up quite a few positions in this one. He is down quite a few as well, down 25 at this point of the race. as Alan Dawson comes in. So does Lawford, so does Akers, so does Linzell. But I feel like Lawford is committing to his drive-through. He is, so he'll get back out there, come back around and come into pit lane for his stop. Linzell gets into the box for Evolution Racing Team. And now looks to get fired up once again to battle on if he can. So Ellie Gardner has been given a post-race points penalty for the incident with Angus Lawford. Doesn't do much about the fact that he had a drive-through penalty, but it's some solace for him on that one. McLeod with his teammate Harris in behind him. I wouldn't be surprised if he just lets him go, because he knows that Harris has had his second pit stop and would want to let him just continue to push on forward. There he goes. Lets him through. So good team strategy there from those boys. Trying to find his way up to Ben Pedersen at this stage of the race as well. 44.5 minutes with a wide run from Harris. Oh, that would have been a wild ride on board of that car for sure. 45 minutes just about have been done in this race. So we've got about 15 minutes left here in proceedings for round one. It has been so chaotic for some drivers, I feel, as Schuler and Lofthouse battle on. It has been ultra uber chaotic, and drivers have been involved up and down the field in incidents. We apologise for the little blink there as well, as Harris, McLeod, Lawford and Cook, was it Cook coming in? No, he's just had a big blink. Lofthouse, Schuler all into pit lane for their final stop of the race. Although Harris has already been in for his 2 stops, so why is he in again? Oh, he had a drive-through. He went over the limit because he ran it wide. Oh, that is such a shame. Such a shame for Daniel Harris. You really have to feel for him. Really, really do. So as they battle on, Job Stewart, the race leader, is into pit lane. Corey Lazarus is going for an extra lap here. So Lazarus pushes on. And we'll see where he can end up through this strategy play. His N24 teammate Colby Warren continues on as well. So does Lockhart Brownlee. Nixon's Stewart's gonna come out well and truly ahead of Connor Nixon. So Job Stewart, does he have work to do here towards the end of this race? Final 13.5 minutes. The intensity has gone on for the whole race. Nixon is up into the top 5, but there have been some pit stoppers there, Stacey, so we'll see how that pans out. But with Harris having to come in for the drive-through, that might help Nixon in terms of holding on to a top 5, which would be an immense effort from him here tonight. So, you know, we're all going to get our answers very, very soon, I'm sure, because the final pit stops for the majority of the field who've not pitted, they're going to be coming very shortly. We're going to see where everyone is, where they're at play, where they line up in the pecking order of tonight's race, and how this championship could possibly pan out. Last season, we had a multitude of spanners thrown in the works throughout. I suspect this season's going to be the same, as Lazarus comes into pit lane for his final stop of the race. Let's keep an eye on where Job Stewart is. He's just entering turn 12. So with how chaotic it's been tonight, the spanners that have already been thrown in the works, how the penalties are now going to sort themselves out with the license points and stuff like that, this could really, really start to put some pressure on some drivers very early on in the season. Stewart runs it round the final corner. Lazarus is yet to exit the pits. So Job Stewart is going to take back the lead of this race, possibly, as Lazarus is trying to come out of pit lane in behind Ernie Toth. There goes Job Stewart. So Toth will need to get out of the way of Lazarus, because he does not want to hold up the battle for the race lead here. So Laz will just hope and pray he can get this job done nice and quickly, because Stewart is within his eye line. He needs to try and break that gap down to less than a second as Corey Lazarus in the battle for this race win. Although with Job Stewart right there, he can almost taste the third victory at this circuit. Can Corey Lazarus? At least the third in the IRWC landscape of things. So Stewart leads the way by 1 second, but I'm gonna just assume that Lazarus is about to turn on the taps, and he may very well start to just fire up and push on to the back of Job Stewart as they continue their fight forward towards the checkered flag flying. The battle for the race win with 10 minutes to go. What has Corey Lazarus got in his back pocket for Job Stewart here? Can he challenge the Evolution Racing Team driver at the front of the field, or is it Job Stewart's to win at this point? We know how good Lazarus is, but we know how good Stewart is as well. He's already proven that tonight. Both drivers on an equal caliber. And we know what Stewart's done in real world racing. They're at two very different times of their lives, two very different times of their careers. But for Lazarus, but he's pushing so hard to try and catch him. Doesn't want to push too hard. Lets the rear get a bit loose, and that has now dropped him another 2 seconds to Job Stewart. So we may see now that Lazarus may just back up a little bit, settle in and settle for P2 on the road, because it's better to take the points than to push too hard and drop them. And that'll be the mindset for Corey Lazarus. Colby Warren on debut tonight is on the podium at this stage as well in an incredible effort. Lockhart, Brownlee and Luke Swan are inside of the top 5. Nixon in P6. Simon Mazzomo, the defending champion, in P7. Jaden Wilcox, Daniel Harris and Ocean Colangelo up into the top 10. What a great race from Ocean, up 11 positions in this one for ERT. That is a phenomenal effort. John Akers up 7 into P11 as well. Alan Dawson, his teammate, up 19. Marcus Cook of Frog Leap Juice Racing up 14 as Lawford comes past him. Schuler is up 10. Schultz up 10. Reddit is up 11. Neil is up 13. And Nickel is up 13 as well. There are some big movers in this race. And there are some big moments on offer for them as well. So for Job Stewart, he is 8.5 minutes away from his first race win here in the iRacing World Challenge VRS Porsche Cup Series. Has Lazarus got anything left for him? Because he's 3.5 seconds back. I think he's really just settled. I think Laz has just settled in, happy to take P2, not going to push on too hard, and just try and solidify these second place points for Corey Lazarus, because I think he learned after last season that consistency is more important. The off-track after turn 1 is brittle. It is. The off-track is horrid at turn 1, Stacey. It's very brutal around here. And I'm surprised it doesn't cost more drivers. Apparently, according to SDK, Job Stewart's had 37 off tracks, but has not taken a drive through, so I doubt that's happened. But, you know, we move. So does Stewart, because he has moved on and up throughout the field. Wilcox and Mazzomo looking to work together to maintain their top 10 positions in the race here this evening. The 1 and 2 entry of 9.5 Sim Sports. So they will hope to continue on up the field throughout the season. Mez will want to be continuing his solid and consistent run as well. Wilcox will want to try and get his consistency up too. And just try and get some solid points on the board for 9.5 Sim Sports. That's the goal for these drivers here this evening. That's the goal for them this season as well. And for Mez and Wilcox, it's a positive night on the road for them, relatively speaking. I mean, Jaden's only down 4. It's still a top 10. Mez is up 9. It's a top 10. It's a positive night for Harris. He's up 4 inside the top 10. Colangelo, what a race from her, up 11 into P10 on the road at this stage as well. Stacey, 9.5 refresh looks good. It looks the goods. Stacey, I'm liking the black base on a lot of their cars. It's looking real nice, and to see that livery refreshed on the Porsche Cup car now as well, they are looking very tasty out there, I must say. Yeah, they are some of the best dressed cars in the field, for sure. I mean, even Luke Swan with the red accent colouring on his car as well. Schultze's got the opposite of that with the black base. It is a tasty look, a tasty look. As the safety car has just jumped to pit lane. I've not heard the safety car call yet though from race control. We've got roughly 6 minutes left of this race, so I don't think we're actually going to see the safety car, at least for round 1 this season. And we are 5.5 minutes away from Job Stewart being a race winner here in the IRWC. Halil Cesar is still in the session, but he is not on track or racing at the moment. The last car on circuit for position is Aaron Smith in P37 at the moment, who has been in the wars tonight, it seems. John Akers, Ben Pedersen trying to battle on here for P12 on the road. Gardner on the back of them as well. Plenty of points on offer this season. We've got a new point structure coming into it. Double points comparatively to last season, so we'll see how that now attributes to the championship standings and how that now affects it as well. It's a liquid format though. We're capable and we're happy to continue to develop that as the seasons progress and find a point system that works, find racing systems that work as well, because we want to try and get this series to be as pretty much perfect as we possibly can in terms of how it's run, in terms of how the racing is, and in terms of how we race control and how we broadcast too. 5 minutes left, less than 5 minutes left, 4.5 minutes to go in race 1 of season 2 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. Pedersen and Akers battle away for P12 on the road. Mazzomo and Wilcox trying to work together to chase down the 5.9 second gap to Connor Nixon. He is on the back of their teammate at the moment in Luke Swan as they battle away for P5. So the top 5 is not over just yet for Connor Nixon in this race. Corey Lazarus had a minor off track, but he's kept it going at this stage. So still plenty on offer for him to try and solidify that P2. But he's pushing so hard as Pedersen up the inside of Akers. Big lock up from Akers. Big lock up as well from Steve Tonkin there of JWM Motorsports. So he's now run it wide, let them past, and Pedersen's taken the position for P12 on the road. This is the closest battle just outside the top 10, including this one here of Linzell and Dawson. This is for P15. Closest battle inside of the top 10, though, is Luke Swan and Connor Nixon, all for P5 on the road. All for a top 5, not only in the race standings, but the championship standings as well. 3 minutes left on the clock for round 1. 3 minutes left for these drivers to punch themselves an early ticket to possible championship glory this season, to get as many points as they can on the board for round 1. Of course, 9 drop rounds this season. Stacey in the chat with us. High caliber drivers, huge field, tough car, everything you can ask for. Exactly right, Stacey. Exactly right. A good field size, some of the best drivers in Australia. This car is one of the hardest to drive as well. This right here is the place to be for Porsche Cup racing, it seems, at least on a Monday night, because the racing has been fantastic. Yes, there's been some little minor errors from some drivers in terms of getting caught up in incidents, but we saw that in season 1. We're no strangers to that. It happens in real life Porsche Cup racing as well, and racing without incidents is boring. You know, racing without battling or without overtakes is boring. So we want drivers to get out there, have a crack, try and race safely but smartly. If you get an incident, then you've got to be able to accept the consequences of such if you are penalised for them as well. Less than 2 minutes to go. Where is Job Stewart? He has already started this lap. So I think it's going to be 1 to go when Job Stewart gets to the line. In the number 30 Evolution Racing Team car, he has got an 8.4 second gap over Corey Lazarus. It's not often we see someone build such a gap over Corey. Nixon and Swan look to continue this battle here for P5 on the road. So they will now push on at this point of the race. It's going to be 60 seconds left. Are we going to have enough for one more lap, or is it going to be 35 of the Hockenheimring here for round 1 this evening? As Job Stewart just runs it through turn 10 and up towards Mobile 1 at turn 11. As he enters Mobile 1, that's just when Corey Lazarus exited turn 10, so that's the gap that he's got. 35 seconds for him now. Is it going to be checkered flag, or is it going to be white flag for Job Stewart? He's given up 0.4 of a second, so I don't think he wants to do an extra lap, but he's still got 20 odd seconds left in this race as he runs it round the final corner. White flag lap for Job Stewart here tonight with 15 seconds on the clock. So 1 lap to go for Job, 1 to go for Corey, 1 to go for Colby. Lockhart Brownlee's trying to wrestle this Orbit Drop Bear car inside of the top 4. And Luke Swan and Connor Nixon are going to have one hell of a final lap battle for the final top 5 position on the road here this evening. What more could you ask for? This race has been intense. It has been chaotic. It's been controversial. Exactly what we bring to sim racing here in the IRWC. But it's 1 lap for Nixon to try and find his way around Luke Swan if he wants to get inside of the top 5. I don't know how likely that is to happen, as Cook's just been passed by Schuler into turn 10. And Job Stewart is entering down towards the Mercedes-Benz Stadium section here of the Hockenheimring. A dominant performance for Job. He comes into the series tonight in his debut, his first season as a part of the IRWC. It was great to see his name when he signed up for Evolution Racing Team. Of course, a real-life racer to his name and to his credit. And as he runs it round towards the final couple of corners, this here has been a cool, calm, collected, solid performance for Job Stewart. Around the final corner he comes for Logitech G and for Evolution Racing Team. It is Job Stewart who starts the season with a win in P1 on the road tonight. Corey Lazarus will come home in P2. And then Colby Warren, for the first time, we will have a US-based driver on the podium here in the IRWC, in a fantastic effort here tonight. Lockhart Brownlee will come home inside of the top 4. Luke Swan looks to outlast Connor Nixon. Jaden Wilcox has had a moment further back in the field with Daniel Harris again. Up towards the line, Swan takes home P5, Nixon in P6. Mizomo, the championship defender of Season 1, will come home in P7. Daniel Harris will come home in P8 in behind, with Ocean Colangelo and Hayden Veld making up a solid triple top 10 for ERT here this evening. Ellie Gardner home in P11 with Akers and Pedersen in behind. But let's just see what's happened here with Daniel Harris and Jaden Wilcox. Oh, Wilcox got loose. Wilcox got loose and Harris had nowhere to go. Really unfortunate for them. But what a race tonight. No safety cars, green the whole way, chaos ensuing. And just an all-out dogfight to the very end for these drivers on the road. We'll wait for our podium finishers to come into the green room to have a chat to us. We're going to try and find some good B-roll footage. This will do us. That's a good point of the race for us to have it. So we'll get our provisional race results up on your screen now once we've got them ready. Oh, Jaden's saying computer froze. Oh, my God. Oh, no, Jaden. That is such a shame. Such a shame to have that happen to you. Honestly, so sorry that has happened. As we wait, though, for our results to come up and for our podium finishes to come into the green room next week, as we said, we go racing out at the Red Bull Ring for round 2, our first rush round of the season. I mean, tonight was chaos. Tonight was chaos at the Hockenheimring. It was chaos last season as well, though, you have to remember. And last season, for our first rush round of the season, when we were out at the Sachsenring, it was chaos as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out for these drivers this evening. We'll just see. I'll message race control and get them to ask the podium finishers to come into the green room. But what a race. What a night of racing it was for Job Stewart. His first race win here in the VRS Porsche Cup Series. For Lazarus, another solid start to the season. For Warren on debut as well on the podium. This race had a little bit of everything. It had your chaos. It had your controversy. It had some fantastic racing. We nearly had a full grid on our first night of racing, which was incredible. A tough car to drive at a tough circuit, 60 minutes. What more could you ask for? This was absolutely electric. And we are, if you're watching, we are on the lookout for a co-commentator this season. James, unfortunately, had other commentary commitments. I didn't have time to bring anyone in for round 1. So if you're out there and you've got commentary experience and you want to come in and join us for this season, please do reach out to me on Discord or message the IRWC Facebook page. We'll get you in. We'll get you sorted as well. Or, you know, if you're watching along and you want to have a crack at commentary, then message me and we'll get you in for a go around as well. Because, yeah, I don't mind calling the races on my own, but I love it when I get to have a co-commentator in here because we get to bounce back and forth off each other and just have a great time watching some fantastic racing. So, yeah, so if you're watching and you want to come on board and commentate some Porsche Cup racing with me, send me a message and we'll get you out there with us as well. I'm unsure if RC are actually going to be able to get their podium finishes into the green room or if they're even going to be into the green room tonight as well. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do come and have a chat to us. It doesn't seem like they're going to at this stage, I think. So regardless of that fact, we will get into our end portion of the show here this evening. I mean, it has been a massive, massive break between seasons. I mean, we have had so much that we've been getting up to get this championship sorted. And we so appreciate everyone who's come on board to come racing with us this season. You know, from new drivers to old drivers from last season as well. It was absolutely exceptional. So we so appreciate the support that everyone gave to us in the off season to come racing with us this season. Absolutely incredible. We so appreciate it, as I said. And the Hockenheimring turned it on for us once again this season. It turned it on for us once again. It was absolutely exceptional. Mr. O'Brien in the chat might be able to help with commentary. Just not next week. Or Brenton, send me a message and we'll see if we can get you in. I'll be happy to have you as well. Colby, great job in your first race, brother. Great job. Great to have you out there with us. Hopefully we see you next week for the Red Bull Ring. And yeah, next week is going to be... That's not what we want. Not this one here. Next week is going to be massive. The Red Bull Ring. This is my favourite race circuit in the entire world. It is an absolute gem of a circuit. I love racing on it. I love calling racing here. If you guys have never seen racing at the Red Bull Ring, come watch it with us next week. This is an absolute fantastic place. We have got green room. Yes, okay. We have got Colby. If you want to come and have a chat to me up in the green room, we have got our podium finishes in the green room, so I should have given them more time. That is completely fine. That is my fault. So we'll drag them in. We'll start off with Mr. Corey Lazarus and P2 here this evening. We'll have a quick chat to him. Corey, I didn't think you were coming to have a chat to me. I was just about to sign off, and then I saw you and Job sitting there, and I'm like, we've got to have a chat to the boys, because that race was, I mean, I know for you and Job, you were out the front, you were pulling away from everyone else, but the race in the background, man, chaos. Pure chaos, but I love it. It was fantastic. There was some great battling out there. Controversial moments, as always. Couple of little things we need to try and massage out of some of the new drivers and stuff like that. But apart from that, what a race. Tell it to us from your perspective, because you and Job you were just hanging out together the whole race. You come out of the pit lane in behind a lapped car, struggled to get past and made a little mistake, and then from there it was pretty much to solidify P2, it seemed.
Yeah, 100%. It was that was really fun. It was really, really good fun. Yeah, I mean, the lap car did nothing wrong. It just caught me off guard just as I was getting on the gas and sort of stuck in my peripheral a little bit, and it was just enough to throw me.
Yeah.
And on the gas too early, and that was it. As soon as that happened, I knew it was game over. And then a couple of laps later, we went across that curb at Mobile 1, hit the wall, and I was on 16X from that point on for the last however many laps it was left. So it was just, pull back, don't do anything silly, get to the finish line. It was tremendous fun, but I was ready. Like after that last pit stop, had enough fuel, car was feeling great, tyres were feeling great, ready for a really good push, and it was the gap was like 0.9 at that point when I made the mistake. So it would have been entertaining, but could have, would have, should have, and congrats to Joe.
Yeah, we're going to classify this as a double podium for you and for Colby, being that you guys were ring-ins for the N24.
Yeah, nice. Colby did a fantastic job. We did some practice during the week, and he'll probably admit himself he was chasing it a little bit, the pace side of things. But yeah, P3, he'd be stoked with that. It was really cool to have him here. I know the server opened up at like 4:30 in the morning for him, so nice early start. It's nice to have the shoe on the other foot and have one of our mates from overseas joining us. It's great.
Well, I know from your conversation that you had with Dean Reddit that you're going to have to get up real early to do the invitational and the qualifiers and stuff like that. So I suppose now, it's the other way around for Colby. He has to do that for you, where you were doing that to participate in that series as well. Hopefully that calendar's released nice and early, because then we can try and cater our calendar to match it. So then people who do it will at least get a race practice in on the Monday before. So that'll be nice, I suppose. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think they'll probably overlap, but like generally they're sort of from the start or mid-July. So it looks like our two calendars will overlap if they follow the same schedule as the last couple of years.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out. We'll see how it pans out for our drivers here if they are going to take part as well. But Corey, a phenomenal race from you. P2 on the road, no longer undefeated at the Hockenheimring, so now there's no pressure on you at all. But let us know, helps get you out on track, mate. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well? For myself, Jack, and the rest of the league, congratulations on P2 here this evening, and a massive thank you as well for your shout out on that podcast discussion that you had with Dean. It was much appreciated.
Yeah, anytime. It's really cool. Thanks to you guys for putting the league on again. It's really good to see the numbers turn up, and we know there's still a few guys not here tonight, so it should be another packed grid for the rest of the season. So thank you guys for putting it on. And big thanks to Joe. That was really cool. Good battle there, and Colby for waking up nice and early from Georgia, America, and finally just my wife putting up with me sitting on the sim all these hours.
Very good, Corey. Best of luck next week at the Red Bull Ring in our first rush round of the season. Let's see how 50 cars inverted is going to go. Probably the best of the rush rounds to have it be the test round for that, actually. So we'll see how it goes. If it's horrible, then we'll probably change it. But if not, send it at Winton. So we'll see.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
No worries. Thanks, Corey.
See you soon. See you guys.
Bye. Next up on the road, we have, in our series, our resident American, Colby Warren in P3. Colby, your first time in the series. You're our first US-based driver in the series as well. So first of all, thank you for getting up so early to come racing with us. We really appreciate it. Secondly, congratulations. A phenomenal performance on debut, on the podium at the Hockenheimring. Can't get much better than that, can it?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the kind words. I'm excited to be here. It's exciting, honestly, to wake up at 4:30, 5 a.m. my time to do some racing and start the day. Really, no better way to start the day than a little racing, you know?
What a way to start your week. You know, Monday morning, get up,
Yeah.
do some racing, you know, head off to work, be like, I got a podium this morning, everyone. It's like, look at me. But
Absolutely. And a broadcast to prove it.
yeah, that's right. You know, you can watch it back on your lunch break if you really want to later today. So, but
That's right.
but I mean, like, you know, talk us through that race for you, because obviously Job and Corey were just on another level, it seemed. But I mean, you had some wicked pace yourself as well. You know, I know you and Corey were kind of ring-ins for the N24 in this car. How was it kind of coming off of that and a strong performance in that race to coming into this race where it's fixed setup, you can't do anything to the setup, you kind of have to get used to just driving around it, but also then getting yourself up to pace against the rest of the field as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think the fixed setup is actually a fun change. You know, just like learning how to adapt very quickly to a setup that you can't change is a really fun challenge. So, yeah, I mean, coming off of the N24, I mean, obviously put a lot of practice time in, a lot of driving, a lot of varying conditions. So to get back to like a sprint race is really kind of refreshing as well. But yeah, like Corey said, we practiced a little bit for Hockenheim here and I struggled a lot in practice. Corey was consistently like a second faster than me, if not more. And I guess I was just pushing too hard. I don't know. It's a very different style of racing coming from like a long track like Nürburgring to, you know, Hockenheim. So maybe I just needed to spend a little more time adjusting to a shorter track.
Well, you're going to have a quick turnaround of adjustment for next week. Not only is it one of the shortest tracks on the calendar in the Red Bull Ring, but it's also our shortest format of the season as well. 2 15-minute sprints with a full grid reversed for race 2, and then a 30-minute feature with the top 10 inverted as well. Last season, it was quite chaotic for us, but we didn't have this grid size when we ran that format last season, so we're using the Red Bull Ring as our tester because it's a pretty open track. That'll give us a good indication on how chaotic they will be, especially before we get to Winton and to Bathurst. What's your preparation going to be like getting into that race, though? Because obviously, again, it's a much shorter track. It's a lot more open. It's very similar to the Hockenheimring in the sense of how flowing the track can be. But yeah, what's, you know, how much of a not a culture shock, but a racing shock is that going to be coming from long distance racing to one of our longer races of the season in the 60-minute race to then bang straight in 2 15 minutes and a 30-minute sprint feature to try and get your teeth wet and get yourself into it.
Yeah, I feel very ready for it, actually. I love Red Bull Ring. It's one of my all-time favorite tracks. You're right, it is a super flowy track, a little bit like Hockenheim, although I would say it only has like one really significant heavy braking zone. So that's kind of a nice switch. I love a track like Red Bull Ring, even if it is incredibly short. So I'm really looking forward to it. And the format sounds super fun. I love a reverse grid format, you know, and then you have 2 or 3 chances, 2 or 3 different races to, you know, try again if it doesn't go your way in one of the first ones.
Well, there's also the added pressure of the top half of the field only gets points in the 15-minute races as well. So,
wow.
Yep. It's called a
It'll
rush.
fun.
You've got to try and get yourself forward if you want points. But Colby, really appreciate you coming and have a chat to me. Really appreciate you being a part of the series as well. Let us know who helps get you out on circuit. Anyone you want to give a shout out to as well. For myself, the other admin Jack, and the rest of the league. Congratulations on P3 here tonight at the Hockenheimring.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
And next up, we have P1 on the road from Evolution Racing Team. It is Job Stewart. Job, first of all, welcome to the IRWC. Welcome to the Winners' Circle. You've got your name amongst a somewhat limited list. Last season, it was mainly Corey Lazarus and a couple of other people who were cherry-picked who won races, but fantastic race from you, sir. Very, very dominant. Corey hung with you for a while there before he made a minor mistake, but how hungry have you been for a Porsche Cup Series to come back, especially with the fact that AOG's been away since their last season, and I don't believe they're returning for another one at this stage?
Yeah, thanks, mate. I've been pretty keen, you know, since I heard that this series was starting up. All the ART guys jumped on board, and yeah, we were all pretty excited after AOG hasn't run for a while. So yeah, it was good from all you guys to get this started up, and yeah, so we can all jump in and have a bit of fun. But yeah, to the race, like yeah, me and Corey were pretty even on pace. I'd say pretty much the whole race. It was just that one mistake that cost him. Otherwise, I'd say it would have been a pretty tight battle towards the end. But yeah, that just made me kind of relax a bit in those last 5 or so laps, and yeah, just happy to bring home the win.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned relaxing, because next week's going to be anything but relaxing, especially if you're up the front. I don't know how far you read into the formats. It's pretty much been our big talking point now in the interview section of the rush round next week of 2 15-minute sprints, the second of which has a full inverted grid, and then the third race is a 30-minute feature with a top 10 invert. The caveat to that also is in the first 2 races, only the top half of the field get points. So if you were to go out there, dominate and win race 1, and you're then ending up at the back of a 50-car field for race 2, how much hoping and praying is there is that they just keep it clean on the probably first 2 or 3 minutes of the race so it doesn't cause absolute chaos in race 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, race 2 is obviously going to be pretty chaotic, but I'm pretty glad that we're doing it, to be honest. Like, it kind of goes both ways. You know, if you have a bad race 1, you'll have a, you know, good starting point for race 2 and vice versa. So, yeah, it kind of, you know, everyone's in the same boat if you look at it that way. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good thing from these guys.
Well, I think you've had a fantastic night on the road once again, proving your pace once again as well. Your media training's paying off for you as well. How are you feeling for the rest of the Super 2 series? Just to get off Porsches for a second, how are you feeling for the rest of that series and kind of coming into the second half of the year now for that as well?
Yeah, I'm just pretty keen to get back into it. All the rounds have been pretty spread out so far this year, so yeah, just to jump back in. And we've had a pretty rough start to the season as a team, our 3 cars in Super 2, so yeah, just hopefully we can come out swinging it in the next round, which is a track that we've raced at previously, which is going to be better for us because we were kind of, you know, just guessing at the last 2 rounds and rocked up, not really on the ball. So yeah, I'll be keen to get back to a track that I know, and yeah, hopefully we can go well.
Well, we're looking forward, to seeing how you do next week at the Red Bull Ring and how you do in your next outing in Super 2 as well, Joe. Really appreciate you coming aboard this season and racing with us. Hopefully you can continue this strong run of form, and we can really start to put some pressure on you with some other drivers in the field finding their pace as well. Let us know, though, helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, for myself, Jack, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your race win here at the Hockenheimring.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just thanks to everyone at the IRWC again for putting on the series, and yeah, thanks to all the ERT boys. You know, they all work pretty hard to keep the team alive and keep the sponsors happy and everything like that. So yeah, just appreciate those guys, and yeah, it was looking like it was going to be a pretty good night for a few of them as well, but unfortunately they were in a few incidents. But yeah, hopefully as a group we can come back next week and have another good showing.
Well, we're looking forward to it, mate. Best of luck in your practice during the week, and we'll see you when we get out to Spielberg.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that have finally gotten to be able to talk to our podium finishers tonight, we jumped the gun a little bit too earlier on the sign off, but it's been a fantastic night of racing once again here in the IRWC. As we mentioned, next week we head out to Spielberg for the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be an absolutely amazing race to come your way. I'm super excited. As I said, it's my favorite racetrack in the world. As unpopular of a choice as that may be, it's going to be an incredible race nonetheless. But if you're watching with us for the first time, or you've been here for a while and you're watching over on Twitch, be sure to hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, to subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on Infinity Broadcasting with the IRWC of the VRS Porsche Cup Series, as well as the Rod Knock Cup, starting a week from Friday here on the channel, as well as Season 24 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth once again. That'll be starting up a week from Saturday. So plenty of racing to come your way. We'll see you guys next week, though, for the Red Bull Ring for the second round of Season 2 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. But until then, appreciate your time, appreciate you being here with us. Stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taking over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane. Of the past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain. Cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane. Speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul.